Who are you looking at, dork nozzle? Hey, what's up, you guys? This is AJ coming to you once again from the Thwip side, and tonight I'm going to take a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Robin figure. Taking a quick look at the packaging, here we see Robin and the standard trading card in the back, the stand, some accessories, DC Multiverse Robin, just the windows so you can see the figure on that side. This side, Robin DC Rebirth, another window there. Artwork from the DC, what is it? Teen Titans Rebirth. That's what I thought. It's from the Rebirth Teen Titans comic, which I always like the artwork on that comic. I actually have the trade paperback of that. Anyway, other characters in the line, and Mumbo Jumbo. So I'm just going to pop him open and check him out. Taking a look at the accessories real quick. Of course, we get the stand we get with all the McFarlane figures, just DC tampoed on it. Just the standard disc. And of course we get the usual trading card with the same artwork on the box from Teen Titans Rebirth. Really cool. As I said, I liked the art in that first run of Teen Titans from Rebirth. Pretty cool. And the bio on the back. And then we get 2 throwing stars. Both the same, kind of plain, just silver, but pretty cool. No birder rings though, which is interesting. And then we get his sword, because this is Damian Wayne Robin, which I think he gets a bad rap. I know he has a fan base, but he gets a lot of hate. He is actually one of my favorite characters. I just really like his character. I mean, people say he's annoying, know-it-all, like little shit, but that's his character, so he fits the bill perfectly. I do have small gold paint smudge on the sword there, which is a little crummy, but still nice design. You can tell Robin's been using it. It's all etched and worn. So there's his sword. But yeah, I do love the character. And now we'll take a closer look at Damian. And I think they did a fantastic job. I mean, I got the Damian scowl. Nailed that perfectly. I like how it's got the wash to bring out the detail in the hair. It's like a bluish wash, which is very comic booky. And I think they nailed his costume really well. And it's got some texture in there, some nice details on the belt. But yeah, I think they did a really good job. What I really liked, what stood out to me, where the laces are like a separate glued on piece, which is really cool. You don't see that often. And the laces are actually all painted all the way up the boot, which is a nice little detail. Then you got his cape and his swooping, I don't know, not stance, but swooping position, I should say. And it's got all the nice folds and everything. And his hood. It'd have been cool if we had like an alternate headpiece with him hooded. I always liked that look for him. But yeah, that's fine. But yeah, he came out really nice. You see the tech detail on the gauntlets. Going over articulation, we do run into some problems, unfortunately. It doesn't kill the figure for me or my enjoyment of it, but I'll just point it out as I go. We do, for going to the heads first, we do get a lot of good tilt, which is great for this character, because look at the attitude. The face already has an attitude. Look, the tilt gives it that much more. You wouldn't think that it could go back. His head wouldn't go back, but it does a tiny bit, but it's actually more than I originally thought, so that's okay. But it goes down really far, buries the chin. His arms do go that far. This gets out of the way a little bit, the cape. and then it can go up to like there before it hits cape. He does have the cap. Doesn't give you a lot of up and down the butterfly. Well, actually, there is no cap this time. It is a little different than most of the McFarlane DC Multiverse that we've been getting, and I think it might be due to the size of this figure. He has the bicep swivel, single jointed elbows, which, there we go. Still have a really nice range, I think. So that's not too bad. But on this particular figure, the problem we run into is torso ab articulation. And I think it's due to his costume. It's all one piece going down. So at first there isn't really anything, but there's a tad bit more than what I thought. I mean, there's no waist, unfortunately, and I think it's because this would get all bunched up and ruined if it being one piece. So you don't really get anything, and that's what the unfortunate part of this figure is. But it's weird because you do get, I don't know if you can hear it. No, that time you don't. You get one little hump of crunch. So he's like that. When I first did that, it clicked. I wanted to see, and then you get this much back, and it's really not much to speak of, and I really don't want to do it too much anyway because I'm afraid this being one piece, it'll rip. I mean, maybe not rip, but I think it'll ruin it eventually. So that's unfortunate. Unfortunate, the lack of any torso articulation, and that was my gripe. And then this is softer, but it still hinders his leg going out. And speaking of that, I took him out of the package, and his leg, I don't think it was popped on all the way. It fell off, and I was worried it was broken. And then, fortunately, it just wasn't popped on all the way. But you can kick that forward, not much back. And then, of course, you get the slight swivel at the hip, which is a little bit more than on some other McFarlane figures. And just like the elbows, you only get a single knee, which kind of isn't unfortunate. Can't speak tonight. Because he is a martial artist, and the single jointed elbow isn't that bad because it has nice range, but I would have loved a double jointed knee. I mean, it only kicks this far. And then you get the swivel at the ankle. Foot goes up that much, that far back. Toe articulation. Oh, and I forgot, you do get the wrist swivel and hinge, and you can manipulate it to go up and down or side to side or however you choose. But yeah, you can see the limitations on the articulation, which is kind of a shame. And here he is with the McFarlane DC Multiverse Nightwing and Red Hood from that 2-pack. And I think they look really nice together. One present and 2 past Robins. And yeah, they look good together. So that was one other thing. I was wondering how he would scale with other figures being, a teenager compared to an adult. And I think he scales really well. I know this Nightwing is a little large. He doesn't scale well with the comic Batman. But yeah, I really like how they look together. So bottom line for me is that it is a shame about the torso articulation. People who hate McFarlane toys are going to use him as an example. But for me, I just love the presence of the figure itself. It's definitely Damian all the way. Like I said, he's one of my favorite characters. He's got his own comic where I think he's going to follow his grandfather's legacy, Ra's al Ghul, and that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. If he'll even stay known as Robin, that'd be an interesting spin if he becomes a different character in his own right. But yeah, I just really like the character. I know why people gripe about him, but to me, that's what he was made for. His characterization is what he was supposed to be, and I just like him. I think he's a very interesting character. Yeah, he can be annoying, but I'm excited to see where his story goes next. As far as the figure, like I said, bummed about the torso articulation, but I think he's a really nice figure. You can get him into poses, not as many as I would like. I'm not going to hate on the figure. I really like him, and this pose right here says it all. That's Damian. So for me, yes, I don't want a statue. I know many of you don't want statues, but you can get him into some fun poses, and I'm going to spend some time trying to get some more action poses with his sword and things like that to see what I can come up with, and I'll probably put some on Instagram. So make sure you check that out. I'm definitely going to have a pic of that. I just love that. But anyway, yeah, I can't jump up and down for this figure, say he's the most incredible figure ever, but it's Damian. And for what we got, I will say that I'm happy with it. Sure, there's room for improvement. I hope McFarlane strives for more improvement. I mean, I know they're more sculpt over articulation and they're trying to incorporate articulation into really fantastic sculpts. And I just look forward to seeing them improve, and hopefully they do. But yeah, I'll put him on my shelf proudly, and gripes and all, and I'm really happy with. I'm happy with him. Like I said, not super ecstatic, but it's Damian. Love the character. He's great, and I'm happy to have this in my collection. So I've rambled on enough. Make sure you guys drop a comment. Tell me what you think of the figure. If you happen to have picked him up, what's your overall impressions? And while you're at it, please consider subscribing, hit that like button, share, and thwip that notification bell. And I will see you guys all again back here on the thwip side.